It seems impossible to avoid hearing health gurus like Brian Johnson, Andrew Huberman, Peter Attia talking about the Eat Sleep mattress. But is it actually good, or are they just sponsored and saying that it's good so that they can try to make more money? Well, I wanted the answer to this question, so I actually bought the Eat Sleep mattress to see if it's good or if it's shit to give you my authentic review. As always, I'll leave the link to the mattress in the description, but please make the determination on your own if you actually want this based on the things that I present in this video. Let's get right into it. Now, firstly, let's talk about actually buying the mattress, because there's different options that you could use to buy with and different things that it can come with. I have a queen mattress, so this is the one I selected, and I got the Pod 5 Core. The Ultra can be even better because it has a whole speaker system built into it and a system that actually changes the tilt so that it can reduce snoring and so that it can keep you seated higher up when you wake up, which makes it easier to get out of bed. But this was a lot more expensive, so this would have costed $5K basically, but without it, it costs $3K. So I think unless you really need it for some reason, just going with the Pod 5 Core is the best deal. And I do think the Pod 5 is better than the Pod 4, and I'll explain why in a bit. But what's important for you to know is that if you do the pay now option, you're still gonna have to pay the subscription monthly for the app, which actually controls the temperature automatically. A lot of people are really upset about this. In fact, I also kind of feel like this is a little bit scummy. It feels like a business owner came in and said, oh, we're just gonna change this into a recurring pricing model so we could have a higher lifetime value and, extract more profits. But I found a way to avoid this altogether, and it's actually by just renting the thing monthly. So the reason that I did this is because I'm only living in the place that I'm living in for the next year, and I don't know if the next place that I move into is gonna have a queen mattress or a different sized mattress. So I didn't want to risk buying a queen mattress and then moving to somewhere where the mattress is a king mattress or something like that. So I decided to rent it, and renting is only $129 for the first month and then $229 per month after that. So if you divide that by all the days in a month, you're basically paying $7.6 per night to get better sleep. But how much better does your sleep actually get? Well, I learned much more about this once I actually got the product. Now, getting the Eat Sleep mattress out of the box, it feels extremely premium, as it should. Now, one thing to mention is the actual mattress cover and the pod, both are needed to actually run the mattress, arrive separately. So I actually got the mattress like 3 days before, and I was so excited to go set it up, and then I realized, oh wait, none of this will work without the pod. But in terms of setup, it's actually quite easy, and the Pod 5 makes it a lot easier than the Pod 4 because you don't even need any extra duvet covers or sheets. You literally just take your blank mattress, overlay the Eat Sleep cover, and then put your sheet over the cover. That's literally it. And then in terms of setting up the pod, which has all the water in it, all you need to basically do is plug that into the wall and then follow the instructions on the Eat Sleep app, which it walks you through how to do it, and it's very simple. The only thing that you should probably know is that they prefer if you use distilled water rather than normal water, because normal water has minerals which can cause it to jam up in the future, but distilled water is distilled, so there's no minerals in there and it doesn't clog up as much if you do that. So I ended up having to wait an extra day as well to actually get some distilled water from when I could get this mattress running. I'm not normally one to vlog my life like crazy or something, but I just got, let me turn off face tracking now. I just got the freaking Eat Sleep mattress. I am so hype. I am so freaking hype. So I'm gonna set this up. I bought it for rent, so I am not allowed to just keep the mattress. I have to eventually return it unless I want to buy it, but right now I'm renting it. So let's start the unboxing process. Let's take this out of the pod. Bro, I'm hype. Okay, this is, whatever this is, it's very big. Okay, now we open this. Oh my God. Okay, it does have an interesting smell. I saw someone mention that it has an interesting smell at first. It does smell kind of weird. Okay, it's super like dehydrated in this bag. This is gonna be really hard to pack up. Okay, tear here. Okay, yeah, again, it does smell a bit weird, but I still think this is fire. So what is this? It's supposed to come with something to plug it into, right? Am I stupid? Did I not order the right thing? Did I? Dude, I might have ordered the wrong thing. This is awkward. So I just got back. I checked my computer. You can't really see it, but it basically shows that the Pod 5 mattress topper is here, but the Pod 5 hub, which you need to put the actual liquid in to get everything working, is not here yet. That being said, I can still get this mattress on and all set up. It does work. So I was looking at all the instructions wrong. We don't need the accessory box. It can just work, and I'm gonna get it set up now. So the first thing is getting the hub set up. The mattress came. The second part. Oh shit. So I'm about to set this up. Now on my bed, I actually own an egg crate mattress, which basically just makes your bed feel more comfortable and makes you sink into it a little bit more. So the way I had to do this was I had to go from my blank mattress to the egg crate shell on top of that, to the Eat Sleep cover on top of that, and then my sheet on top of the Eat Sleep cover. When I actually laid on the mattress, I barely noticed a difference between how much I would sink into the mattress before and after. So the cover makes your bed feel basically the same. Your mattress won't really be affected since the Eat Sleep cover is just a cover. Whatever your mattress feels like is basically going to be how it feels like once this cover is on. So there might be a little bit of a difference between how your mattress feels and just the sheet above it causing a little bit of extra padding. But overall, again, it does feel very, very similar. But now I'm going to talk about the actual main selling point of the mattress, which is the cooling and the heating. And is this actually good? So on the app, there's a couple interesting settings. I can just tap to turn on, and basically the temperature that you want this to be can go from -10 to +10, which is pretty weird because it's like, why can't I just set the temperature of the bed to whatever temperature I want? Why do I have to set it to -10 or +10? But supposedly this refers to what the mattress considers neutral, which I guess is room temperature. But it's basically saying, do you want to go to the most extreme cold based on wherever neutral is for you, or do you want to go to the most extreme hot? And so there's three settings. There's the setting for when you get in bed. This is bedtime. There's night, which is when you actually fall to sleep. And then there's dawn, which is 4 hours after you fall asleep. And on the app, it actually explains how the temperature works and how you should input the temperature for each of these time periods. So like during dawn, for example, which is 4 hours after you fall asleep, your body temperature naturally rises. And so it supports that by also warming up the mattress to get you towards dawn when it's good to be at dawn. But if you have autopilot on, which is the thing that basically automatically controls the temperature throughout your sleep anyways, it'll automatically adjust these things to get you more REM sleep and more deep sleep, or more of whatever sleep stage based on what it senses you need and how you've slept throughout the month. So you can see here, now I'm not sure how accurate this is or how much directly this was due to autopilot, even though it says it increased my REM sleep by 38% and increased my deep sleep by 35%. You can see here during these deep sleep stages or during these REM sleep stages how it adjusted my temperature to actually try to keep me in that stage of sleep. On this day, I ended up getting a 100 sleep score, which is a combination based on the quality of your sleep, the consistency or the timing of your sleep, which is seen here, and then how much time you actually slept compared to your average. And I'll get more into how it senses the data in a bit. First, I want to say this cooling feature is nice. Like, I live with a roommate and there's only one control for how hot everything is, and so he normally sleeps a little bit hotter, so he just turns it to whatever's preferable for him. But now when I get into the bed, it's still cool and I don't sweat at all during the night anymore, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I really like sleeping cold, and this allows me to sleep very cold. Now, one thing you'll notice is towards the edges of the mattress, it doesn't really get that cold. It's more towards the middle of the mattress, and you can definitely sense that. And the other thing is, one thing I was hoping for in this mattress is that I kind of wanted that feeling where when you flip your pillow to the other side and it's cold on that side and you put your head and it feels nice. I thought the mattress would feel like that, but for the whole time. But I would say once you lay on the mattress, it doesn't retain it exactly like that. It's like you lay on it, you get the cold pillow feeling, but then your body heat does warm it up and you do get used to it a little bit. But it's definitely way better than if it was just a normal mattress. Like in a scenario where I would do that, I would get into the bed, it would feel cold, but then after a couple minutes, I might start sweating. There's no sweat. Like, it feels like I'm the right temperature, and this mattress does this beautifully. And there's one more feature which I think is good, which it has hot flash mode, which means that if you get hot flashes during the night, this typically is due to hormonal shifts. You can turn on hot flash mode and it'll sense when you're getting a hot flash and you'd start sweating in the middle of the night and instantly cool down the mattress to prevent you from sweating and waking up in the middle of the night. That is genuinely an awesome feature. Not one that I need, but just pretty cool that they have that. Then it has an alarm system. Now, I actually don't use an alarm because my sleep is so regular that I just wake up naturally. But one of the features they have that I absolutely love is that you can set an alarm and you can set the temperature for that alarm. So I have my alarm set every morning at 7:10 and it can wake me up in a couple different ways. The first is by setting the temperature, and temperature alone can increase the time that you wake up because your body naturally produces more cortisol, I think it is. I don't know, maybe Huberman can fact check me on that. When your body temperature raises. So I have mine set to +10 in the morning, and I basically am able to wake up every single morning from just the temperature increase. If that's not enough for you, you, the bed has vibration built into it, and you can add this in. You can set the vibrations to be gradual or heavy, and then you can set the strength to whatever you want. Personally, I've tried it and it woke me up from a gradual pattern on the lowest strength setting combined with the heat that was coming from the mattress. But again, I don't even need it because I don't need to wake up by a certain time since my sleep schedule is so regular at this point. And I have to be honest, just waking up to the heat in the morning is one of the nicest feelings in the world. You're in a nice, comfortable, cozy, warm bed, and you're woken up by not some blaring loud alarm, but by some warm, angelic, nice, soft, cozy. Like, it is so nice. Again, for me, the fact that I can get access to this mattress for $229 per month, like, I would much rather have a $229 per month lower amount of square footage in my apartment building than giving up the $229 that I spent on this mattress. So if I had a $1,500 a month budget on where I'm living, I'd spend $1,270 a month on rent and then $229 a month on this mattress because I do think it is that good. The last feature they have with the alarms, by the way, is one that I use, which is called Smart Alarm, which basically can detect what sleep cycle you're in and wake you up within a 30-minute window. That is when you're going to be the least groggy waking up. So it's definitely worth it to turn this on and wake up a little bit earlier than you normally would wake up if you're not going to be woken up out of deep sleep. Like, that is crucial because if you wake up out of deep sleep, you just feel extremely groggy in the morning and it feels impossible to get out of bed. So you're going to want to turn this on. Now, while this is running, the system is very quiet. So the pod, you might not be able to see super well, but it's right down there and it's silent. Like, you really don't hear it whatsoever. And I like to sleep with a fan spinning anyways because that noise kind of just helps me fall asleep. So you don't have to worry about it being too loud whatsoever. Now, one of the things that helped my sleep journey the most from getting this mattress, I would say when I got this mattress, I went from like very irregular sleep schedules, having trouble falling asleep, to having like nearly perfect sleep every night. And I think the reason for that isn't actually the cooling of the mattress, but it's the extent of the data that you get from this. And when I saw the data, I understood what I could do to try to improve my sleep, which I started doing because I had access to the data and how my sleep actually was, which helped me improve it by a freaking ton. So just to go over what data you actually get here, every night you get a sleep score. And just to flex, I'll pull it up to when I fell asleep on Monday where I got a 100 score. But the score is basically ranked on time slept in total, which is 40% of your score, quality of sleep, which is 50% of your score, and then consistency, which is 10% of your score. It judges the time slept by it being 6.5 to 9 hours, which is optimal for most people. And I think it also might go on based on how much you slept in the past and if you got the adequate deep sleep and REM sleep by sleeping that much. So then it knows, well, how much sleep do you actually need? In terms of quality, it measures how much you're actually in deep sleep and in REM sleep, and it compares that to the generally known healthy range for other adults. I'll explain how they actually know deep sleep or REM sleep in a minute. And it also analyzes your heart rate on a 30-day average, so you have a benchmark of, is your sleep improving? You want your resting heart rate while you're asleep to be very, very low. The lower your resting heart rate is, that basically means the more efficiently your heart can pump blood, because it doesn't need to pump as hard and frequently to get the same amount of blood to your body, which means that your heart is just a stronger muscle and pumps more efficiently than other people. You can improve this a lot actually with cardio, but how low your heart is beating during your sleep can depend on a lot of things, like whether you consumed alcohol, whether you're anxious, whether your circadian rhythm is going correctly. So yeah. So then you'll get something like this every night, which shows you how much deep sleep you got, how much REM sleep you got, and what percentage you spent in each. We can see here on this night, I got 33% REM, 40% light sleep, and 27% deep sleep. It shows us the time slept, which was 7 hours and 48 minutes. One thing I'd want them to add to the app is the actual time spent in bed. If I go to the data from my Apple Watch or on the Apple Health app, it shows how long I was in bed and then how long I was asleep. And I would want the 8 Sleep mattress to do the same thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't show that, but it does show how long it actually took you to fall asleep. So you can kind of just calculate it based on that, because 7 hours and 48 minutes plus 10 minutes is just 7 hours and 58 minutes. But yeah, from here, it also shows you your schedule. So like, this is when I've been sleeping every night. And so you want to be in the green every time, which means you're basically going to sleep and waking up within a plus or minus 30-minute range every single night. And we know one of the best things you can do for sleep is have a very consistent schedule. Then if I scroll down, this is where you actually get your biometrics. So your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, your snoring percentage, which I don't really snore, and then your breath rate. It uses all of these things to determine whether you're in deep sleep or REM sleep, and basically based on all the research I've done, I do believe these metrics give you a very, very accurate score of what stage of sleep you're actually in. I like how you can also go into the app and see your data over time, so I can see, is my resting heart rate lowering over time and am I improving? As you can see, my resting heart rate is improving. Same with my breath rate and same with my heart rate variability. Now, again, if you want to track these things, there's other ways to do it without getting an expensive mattress, but I do think that having all these things built into the fact that it also has the cooling is very nice and means you could save money by not buying like a WAP or an Apple Watch to get better sleep tracking, for example. Now, one more thing that I'd like to mention is that on the side of the mattress, there's something you can use to actually just directly change whether you want it to be hotter or colder. So you don't have to go into the app to change these settings. And this is especially helpful at night if you're just uncomfortable with the current temperature. You can just instantly change it to something that feels a little more comfortable. So definitely use that, especially if you don't want to look at your phone at night. Overall, this mattress feels like just a great improvement to my life. It integrates with Apple Health. It was very easy. If you know what you're doing, it's easy to set up. I'm just an idiot and I thought I got the Pod 4, so I was confused with the setup, but no, it's very simple to set up. And it definitely doesn't feel like the mattress has too much tech. It just feels like you're going to sleep at a temperature that you actually want to sleep at, and then you can wake up in a nice, warm, cozy bed without a loud blaring alarm in your face. I've had it for about a month and I haven't had to refill the tank other than the first refill that you have to do within like the first week. I've had no issues with leaks. It feels durable, doesn't feel like it's going to break anytime soon. And so overall, I would say that the mattress, even though it's expensive, is worth it. All in all, the best things you can do to improve your sleep do not revolve around the Eat Sleep mattress. Like, for example, the best things I've done to improve my sleep is getting sunlight in the morning in my eyes within 30 minutes to an hour of waking up every single day, going to sleep at the same time every single day, getting blue light blocking glasses, having a setting to turn all of my screens to the most red possible mode like that at night so I'm not getting blue light in my eyes before I go to sleep. 5, having routines for morning and night. So I have an exact routine that I do every night before bed and an exact routine that I do every morning after I wake up. Doing that every single night, especially if it's something kind of monotonous, is perfect for falling asleep. And then finally, number 6, and arguably the least important, is my mattress is just a better temperature and I wake up way nicer because I don't wake up to an alarm. I wake up to just a heated bed and I get all the data from my sleep. And the weird thing is that even though I would rank, out of all the sleep habits that I do, I would rank the 8 Sleep mattress like lower on the priority list than, you know, getting sunlight or having a regular sleep routine or having a regular sleep time or anything like that. I still think that the 8 Sleep mattress causes me to care about my sleep because I can see my sleep score, I can see the data, and I get excited to go into a bed every night that's cold and wake up every morning to a bed that's hot. All of that makes me actually care and have fun and want to improve my sleep, which makes my sleep a lot better. So if I didn't have this, some of the other habits that I enjoy and rely on to get good sleep, because I have a mattress that makes me look forward to sleep, might go away. And this is why if my budget for rent was $1,500, I would spend the monthly $229 that it costs to rent this mattress. Again, this is my honest review. The link to the 8 Sleep mattress will be in the description, but make your own decision based on the review that I gave in this video, whether you think this is something you want. I think what's actually really nice is you can just rent it for a month to try it. So $129 for the first month to rent it for the month and see how you feel about it, and then you can just return it if you don't actually like it. And by the way, let me know in the comments if you like these health oriented videos, because there's a lot of videos I could make on optimizing your health 100% perfectly, since it's something I've been getting into recently. So yeah, let me know in the comments and I'll be making more videos if you guys actually want it like that. This whole channel is normally dedicated to like learning how to make more money online, but I do think health is intimately related to your productivity and how much money you can actually make. So it's one reason that I care a lot about my health, and so it's something I think you should care a lot about too, and so let me know if you want more of it. As always, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you thought this video was an actual nice authentic review compared to, you know, the people that are just directly sponsored by 8 Sleep. And as always, thank you guys all so much for watching the video. I'll catch you on the next one, and peace.